we're at the beginning of the end. The ground we walk is on fire. The water we drink is like poison, and the air we breathe is simply unbreathable. The planet we live on is dying, and so are we. This is our future, or to be more specific, the future of our great-grandchildren. But it's not our problem, so we shouldn't worry about it, right? The preceding generation should have to deal with a problem that we left them that was never theirs to deal with in the first place, right? When are we finally going to take responsibility for our actions? The issue we want presidential candidates to focus on in the election is climate change.
Our fresh water and oceans are being polluted. Soils are eroding.
Scientists from all over the world are telling us we've got about a decade to get this ship turned around.
Fires in California. All of these at one time. More than 1,000 homes burned on this day.
With climate change being the colossal problem it is, me and my partner sought out just where it is humanity went wrong. And while there are many things we can relate back to climate change, one of the main contributors towards this issue is natural gas companies such as Exxon.
Is Exxon a big contributor to climate change problems? Certainly they are. You can look at not just Exxon, but all of the fossil fuel major companies.
ExxonMobil has known about climate change and its effects for a few decades now. I think they are a pretty big contributor to the lack of knowledge about climate change early on or the spread of disinformation.
They're selling you a product without full disclosure about what the impacts of that product is. And so I think a lot of the responsibility does indeed lay on the shoulders of Exxon, not just Exxon, but a lot of companies.
Another contribution would be the burning of fossil fuels. When we burn fossil fuels such as coal or gas, this causes greenhouse gases to be released, and which in turn can cause air pollution.
In terms of greenhouse gas emissions in the United States, I think transportation makes up the majority of sources of greenhouse gas emissions that contribute to climate change. Here in Austin, we're working to support public transportation in order to reduce greenhouse gas emissions from cars and trucks. We really need to do our part to make sure we slow greenhouse gas emissions in order to reduce global temperatures.
It is clear that companies like Exxon and many other fossil fuel-based industries have kept the proposition of climate change a secret long before the public even knew about it. We need to take action now.
Taking action is only going to benefit us.
I think most of the things we could do about climate change are obviously a net benefit and will be much better than the problem itself. There's always side effects and trade-offs, that's for sure.
And it really is the most basic of things, even that you would do at home. Turn off lights when you leave the room. Make sure the televisions and radios are turned off when you're finished using them.
There's still a lot of people out there who either aren't sure of what climate change is or don't believe in its existence.
My name is Bailey Brooks.
My name is Cameron Hatcher.
My name is Grady Payne.
I'm Reagan Jones.
My name is Charity Ellis.
What is climate change? The change in climate.
Climate change is the change in the weather and the climate.
Climate change?
It's where climate is not the same as it was several years ago.
Climate change would be like the world and how like the atmosphere has changed throughout the years.
And after doing much research online, I have seen that there are many arguments against it.
But many of the people that we talked to weren't even sure that the science was real. How do we know this thing is real? Why do we think it's humans for the first time instead of just natural factors?
There is clear evidence of climate change's existence. We see with how glaciers are melting down and how animal species have lost their lives because of the world we created. According to statistics, there are going to be an additional 250,000 deaths per year because of malaria, malnutrition, and heat stress.
People don't understand that climate change is very severe or pressing. There's kind of a population of climate deniers, and a lot of that's been fueled by kind of false science or different think tanks who spread that.
They can give us all the facts and data, but if it's not real in that deeper sense, it's hard to motivate people.
So maybe we're not asking the right questions or providing the right kinds of answers to people so that they can be convinced. Because when we understand a problem, we better understand our role in the solution.
The Earth has been the only home we've ever known for thousands and thousands of years. It's our job to keep it safe. When it goes down, we will too. It will be nothing but memories just like these statues if we keep on this path. Your choice affects the future. Now's the time to decide. Let's not let everything we've worked so hard to obtain as a society go so easily. Now more than ever, we need to come together and fight against this imminent threat.
I believe we have a moral obligation to be devoted stewards of our environment and our planet.
And we must break this cycle, and it must be a clean break.
And to leave our planet in even better shape than we found it.
Do it for your children, your children's children, your great-grandchildren. Future generations shouldn't have to deal with a burden that was never theirs in the first place.
But I would say it's mostly something that we're trying to do to help future generations.
I think we are responsible, and we owe it to future generations to act now.
Let's create a world that we're proud to leave behind. Because it's our responsibility.